What else did we say? Don't be bothered about. Do you remember the song? No, no. That particular line, don't be bothered about what others say. We gave a song. I don't care what they say about. You remember now? All right. Next one. Fear. And how do you overcome fear?
Not that everybody fails.
Next one.
Don't compare yourself with others.
All right. You are good students. Okay. So that's where we got to. What's the worst that can happen? So what's the worst that can happen to you? You did. The worst is you did. And if you remember what Paul says, for me to live is Christ and to die is gain. So I really don't fail. If I die, I make it. If I live for Christ. So whichever way, you cannot affect me. And you cannot do anything to stop me from getting to where I need to go. All right? Is that where we ended? Yeah. Next one. What stops us from doing great exploits? Next one is what number?
5.
Number 5 is excuses. How many of us like excuses, giving excuses? Only one person. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Excuse is a very nice, polite way of saying I won't do it. Can I say that again? Yeah. Excuse is a very, very nice and very polite way of saying that I will not do it. Because what you are giving excuse about and saying that you can't do it because of A, B, C, if you really wanted to do it, you would have done it. You were late in presenting your assignment. You find a very nice excuse. If the assignment was very important to you, you would have done it. So excuse is just a very nice way of saying that I don't want to be bothered. And for us, if we really want to do anything for God, the first thing we need to fight in our heads is excuse. Never give excuse about something that you know you need to do. Do you know Jesus could have given excuse by going to the cross? Because, when you look at the cross, they put, what do you call it, some very nice white something to cover how much pain he had to go through. He knew that he would be spat at. He knew he would have to go through all those things. And yet, he chose to do it. He could have gone another route. But he decided to do it for you and I. And that is why we also have to do it for others. Because if we don't go, then what he did is in vain. Because the buck stops with us. If and we are on the side of the mountain, and the water is supposed to be passing front door, and for some reason we stopped the water, and I missed. Believe you me, I made it to South Africa and I preached. It cost me a lot more money. I had to go through different countries to get to my destination. But if you really want to do something, you'll find a way. Or you still don't get what? I had to go through Ethiopia, ended up somewhere before I ended up in South Africa. But if you know that the thing is a do or die affair and there's a way around it, you'll find a way. So really, if you look at excuse, me, when anybody is giving me excuse, I just, it goes into one ear and it comes. For me, you're not a serious person. When you start giving me excuse, oh, I couldn't do it because by the third line, I have switched off. Because excuse is just a very polite way of saying that I won't do it. If you really want to, I mean, think about it. Have you given an excuse before? And if you had to really judge yourself, do you know that you could have done more than you did? Oh, am I talking to myself? You're all very, very happy and dancing. All of a sudden, you've gone quiet. Huh? It's true, isn't it? Don't let barriers, don't let circumstances, don't let people stand in your way to achieving what you ought to achieve. Because the people, the barriers, the circumstances will always be there. I read somewhere in the Bible, I think it was Psalm 23, verse 5. He prepares a table before me. Where? Where? Do you know that you have an excuse not to eat? Science, you don't agree with me. BK wants to kill you. And they bring your favorite food where he is with his knife. And for some reason, that is where God decides that the place I'll prepare your food for you is here, by him, with the knife. How many think you have an excuse not to eat? Because he can poison your food. He can do something to you as you're eating. Because when you're eating, your guards are down. Anything can happen. I'm trying to tell you that the excuse, God knows that your enemy is sitting there, but that is why he chooses, so that you have no excuse. Sit down and eat. So if you are choosing not to eat, it's because you are not really fit to sit at the table. Oh, you don't get what I mean? Yeah. I read somewhere also in the Bible that says that from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of God suffers violence, and the violent take it by force. The kingdom is designed in such a way that people who like excuses cannot partake. Sissies are not allowed. Oh, you don't get what I mean? Because the world is a hostile place. And it's designed that way. Have you not realized that anybody who has become anything in this world has some wild inner strength? I don't care what science or whatever that they've. It could be art, it could be science, it could be anything. Anybody who has succeeded in doing anything, they have some inner tenacity. They have a certain inner strength that they don't allow failure, they don't allow excuses, they don't allow anything to stop them from achieving. They have a certain ruthlessness in them. You need ruthlessness to be able to sit where your enemies are and not feel intimidated. Have you ever sat in a room full of enemies before? You have to learn to hold yourself, hold your own ground, or else because the eyes alone can kill you. The eyes that are looking at you alone can easily intimidate you. Not the best singer wins X Factor. Not the best singer even makes it to the final. It's those who have inner tenacity, inner strength, ruthlessness, not afraid of eyes looking at you, not afraid of what they are saying about you. Those are the ones that go in. Because their eyes are full of enemies. People that have their own people, they want to rather be in it than you. That you have to be there, perform right in front of them to impress them. Oh, you're not getting what I mean. Yeah. And I realize that the generation we have now, we are so easily discouraged. The smallest and the slightest thing, we resign. You went to sing, it didn't work, they laughed at you. I'm not singing again. You wrote your best. You sent it for marking and they gave you a D. Now you want to pack in a course. You're too yellow-bellied. Come on. And that course is not for me. I'm even fed up. I want to stop. That's worse. None of these guys in the cave were excuse givers. Because excuse giving was what brought them into distress. Excuse giving is what brought them to debt. Have you not realized that excuse will make you go broke? Okay. Let me explain. We all have 24 hours. We are born with 24 hours a day. Nobody is richer than the other. Those who use the 24 hours to create millions and billions don't have two heads, don't have four hands. Those who don't do anything are full of excuses. Have you not realized that the one that Jesus, in the story Jesus told, the one that Jesus was, the household that was very angry with, was the one who was full of excuse. I knew you were a hard man, reaping where you have no sown. And so I was afraid, and I hid your talent. The one who got 3, he knew it wasn't fair because one got 5, he got 3. But he didn't look at who got more than him as a reason why not do anything. The one who got 1 says, you gave 1 5, you gave 1 3. Now, as for me, you have only given me 1. What can I do with the 1? I sat on the 1. You get it? The one who got 3 and doubled it, he got the same reward as the one who got 5 and doubled it. Which means that the one who got 1, if he had doubled it, he would have gotten the same reward. Because the reward is, well done, good and faithful servant, enter into the joy of your Lord. You have been a ruler for few things, be a ruler for many. Many is many. So 5 many is many, 3 many is what? Many. Is something that you allow. Excuse comes from you. It's you agreeing with the circumstance and the problem to sabotage your progress. Can I say it again? Excuse is you agreeing with the problem to sabotage your progress. Who can give me an example of what I've just said? So who loses out? Excuse. I don't know whether you are getting where I'm going with this. Yeah. So you see, the greatest saboteur of progress is excuse. And excuse lives within you. You have to evict it. Oh, you don't get it. I read somewhere in the Bible that through wisdom is a house built. But you and I know that if you want to build a house, you need money. But it never mentions money. It says wisdom and understanding. Not money. Which means that lack of money is an excuse. Money is an excuse you are using not to. Okay? I'm trying to convince you because I know all of us in this room are full of excuses. This room should have been full